So starting last week and continuing for the next few weeks, our sermon series is called Seeing God or Finding God in the Movies. The desire for us is to take your favorite movies and to look at them through the perspective of the Christian faith and maybe, just maybe, see what they have to teach us. This week, Joyce Kerner gave a suggestion for, I won't say the best movie, but certainly in the top 2 of all time. The Fellowship of the Ring. Okay, so can we just, how many? Well, how many have seen it? Okay. Well, about 20 times more than people from the first 2 services. When I told Pastor Carl, Pastor Carl was on vacation last week when he talked about his movie. When it was over, he's like, he was acting a little sad. He's like, I really tried to choose a movie that I thought people that they had heard of before, that they'd seen. And you know what I told him? Pastor Carl, our people are too busy reading their Bibles to watch movies. But I really thought the Fellowship of the Ring. Okay, so for those of you who've never seen it, I'm going to tell you a little bit about, first I'm going to tell you about when I first saw it. I went to the theater, incredible experience. There were 8 of us who went together. 7 of us were very excited about seeing this movie, and then one, my best friend, soon to be wife, she had no idea what she was getting into, but she decided, hey, I will go along too. We went to the movie together. We walked in, full theater, wait in line. There's so many people to get into the theater. People are dressed up in character. All right? So wizards and elves, grown men dressed up as wizards and elves. In case you're wondering, that's where my nerdiness stops. I will go to a movie early. I don't dress up in character, okay? But we walk into the theater. We watch this wonderful film. When it is over, first time and only time in my life this has happened, people actually stood up, gave a standing ovation for the film. I turned to my best friend's soon-to-be wife. She was clapping. She was clapping more ferociously than anyone else. And I said, Cody, you must have loved the movie, huh? And she said, oh. And she looked around and suddenly she stopped clapping. Her face got red and suddenly she whispered to me, are they really clapping because they liked it? Yeah. So I'm just clapping and it's finally over. So I'm mindful that some of you really, really love this movie, and others of you have either neither seen it or you're not seen it, or frankly, you've seen it and you cannot imagine why anybody would ever want to talk about it again. That's kind of the extremes we're at, all right? Here's the premise. This is where we get a little geeky, but not too much, all right? It is a fantasy story about this make-believe world called Middle Earth. There is this evil sorcerer. He is trying to wrap the world in darkness, all right? And at the last moment, there's this group of elves and a group of people. You know, as a grown person, to tell this story aloud does seem a little silly now that we're into it. They align themselves together. They defeat the evil sorcerer, and as they do, you have to understand, he has this ring. This magic ring that he has poured all of his cruelty, all of his malice. It's essentially his soul is tied to this ring. And so when he is destroyed, they have this opportunity because his life is hooked to this ring. All they have to do is to march up the mountain, Mount Doom of all things, and throw it in. Once they destroy that ring, evil will be destroyed once and for all. The problem is when the person picks up the ring and he carries it up the mountain, by the time he gets up there, the power that goes with that ring is just too tempting. And he begins to imagine what he could do, all the good things he could do with this power in the world. And so rather than throw it down and destroy it, he slips it onto his finger. He's going to use that power for good. Of course, that ring is evil. It corrupts him. We're going to fast forward a few hundred years, but eventually that ring falls into the hand of Frodo Baggins. And now some of you I'm sorry for you dedicated fans. For everyone else, just stay with me. I'll come to a point in just a moment. Because what happens next is Frodo brings this ring. He brings this ring to this council of eclectic beings from all over Middle-earth. He sets it in the middle of it. What is happening in the world is evil is returning. In the land of Mordor, you have little things running around in the shadows and evil beasts that are returning. And everybody realizes in order to get rid of evil once and for all, we have to destroy this ring. The problem is, to destroy this ring, you have to walk into Mordor, into this evil land, walk up the mountain and throw it in. That's the only place it can be destroyed, and the UPS system does not deliver to Mordor, right? The postal system will not go there. Somebody has to take it. They begin to argue back and forth about who's going to do this, and next thing you know, it is little hobbit named Frodo Baggins, who says, I will take the ring. I will take the ring to Mordor. There's only one problem. What's the problem? He doesn't know the way. So the next thing you know, it's beautiful. 8 people from various backgrounds come forward. They all make a promise that they're going to bear this burden with Frodo Baggins as long as it is his to bear. This becomes the fellowship. This group is going to encourage one another and to be honest with one another, and when they destroy evil once and for all, they are going to celebrate with one another. That is the fellowship of the ring. That's the premise of this first film. There's a problem. As they start off on this journey, this ring has the power to corrupt. And it begins to work in a variety of ways on all the people. I'll name just one for the sake of time. His name is Boeding. He's the Prince of Gondor. He's this brave and loyal soldier. He wants to protect his people. And when he first sees the ring, it's just a few words. He says, it is a gift. It is a gift to the foes of Mordor. He wants to use it. And then, as he begins marching, he begins to have these fantasies. They're subtle. But he begins to think about what it would be like to put that ring on himself. He would use that power for good. He would protect his people. It's all good, right? That's the temptation. Over and over again, these scenes he plays out in his mind. What the book of James tells us is that temptation starts like this. It starts small. But when we give in to temptation, it grows. And eventually, temptation becomes sin. And sin leads to death. We don't have to watch a Hollywood movie to know how this works. We see it in our lives. We see it in the lives of our loved ones. Temptation starts small, right? Maybe a few harmless words of gossip. Starts small. What happens if you do that a couple days in a row? It gets bigger and bigger. And eventually, it becomes not just a mistake we made, it becomes part of a lifestyle. It begins to capture us. Temptation grows into sin. There's 1,000 examples, right? A person who goes home after work and grabs a couple of drinks. It starts small. Tells himself or herself, it's no big deal. Lots of people do this, and for lots of people, it is no big deal, but for some, it is. For a variety of reasons, that temptation grows and grows until it becomes something more powerful. You can insert your own example, playing out scenarios in your mind again and again, saying it's harmless, it doesn't hurt anyone, and yet it grows and grows, and eventually it becomes something else. It ceases to be harmless any longer. In the film, what happens is it grows from temptation to sin to death. Just like James said with Boromir, having replayed these images in his mind over and over again, at the end of the film, is walking with Frodo. And suddenly, when he's weak, when he's vulnerable, when he's anxious, because that's when sin always strikes, right? When we are vulnerable, when we are anxious, when we are angry about something, sin latches on. It attacks Boromir. And next thing you know, Boromir, who in the film is a loyal soldier who promised even to use his life to protect Frodo, now he attacks Frodo. Frodo escapes with the ring, but Boromir at the end of the scene ends up dying. Now, in the book of James, when James says death, temptation leads to sin, which leads to death. Death is not just a physical death. It is the destruction of the relationships we hold near and dear. You know how that works, right? We see it in marriages. We see it in families. We see it among friends. We see how little things grow and grow until they destroy that which is most precious to us of all. The good news, people of God, the good news is it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be this way because there is one. There is one who has power over temptation and sin, yes, even over death itself. And it's not Frodo who eventually marches up the hill with some help in carrying the ring. The one who has power over temptation, sin, and even death is Jesus Christ, who marches up a far different mountain, not carrying a ring, but carrying a cross on his shoulders. When he gets to the top of that mountain, Jesus looks at humanity and says, I'll take it. I'll take your temptation. I'll take your sin. I'll take whatever it is that makes you anxious or nervous or angry in this world. I'll even take your death. And Jesus, in that moment, puts those things to death once and for all. Through his life, his death, and resurrection, Jesus has put those forces to death once and for all. Now we know we still live in a world where those forces are alive and well. But we know through the promise of Jesus Christ that the day will come where sin and death and destruction will be no more. But until then, as the followers of Jesus Christ, we are called to do what that fellowship did. And that is to support one another, to be honest with one another, and to be an encouragement to one another. That is what it means to be the church. And one of the great blessings in my life is I get to see people live this out each and every day. I'll tell you 3 stories about people being encouragements, about being supportive, about being honest that I've seen in the last week and a half from people from this congregation. First is this, being supportive. Last week, it was on Thursday, in fact, I called someone from our congregation. I won't say her name because she would be embarrassed, but I called her to say, I know you're having surgery. It's a pretty big surgery. Can I stop by? What do most people say when the pastor says, can I stop by and pray with you? Most people say, yeah, come on over. She said, well, okay. Well, pastor, you know that I like you. Yeah, absolutely, we get along great. Well, the truth is my family's here, but more than that, I have a house full of people from United Lutheran. They're already here. We're laughing, I hear the laughter in the background. She apologized to me about 7 times in the midst of that conversation. But in the end, she said, you know what? Just say a prayer for me on Sunday. I can even see her through the phone, just like waving it off. Just say a prayer for me on Sunday. I'm good. I've got plenty of support. You know what that teaches me? It's a beautiful thing. By the way, I'm never offended when that happens. What it teaches me is that there are people in our congregation, there's people in this community who see someone in need and they're not sitting back. Instead, they're going to offer support and encouragement. That's what it means to be the church. That's how we live into this fellowship to which we have been called. We support one another. We're honest with one another. Without going into details, about a week and a half ago, some people, including members from this church, saw a friend who was making some poor choices in life, and they sat down with this friend and they just said, we see these choices, we're worried about you, we want you to know we care about you. Those conversations are difficult, they are painful, they are awkward, sometimes they explode in everyone's face, but in that moment, I saw people from our congregation being the church, practicing, living into this fellowship to which we've been called. Last but not least, on Wednesday night, we have a person who has started to come to the church here. Actually, he comes to the meal. He's never been in the sanctuary. He's been here, I think, 6-7 weeks now in a row to have a meal, sits with some people. The people at his table, don't say his name, but the people at his table discovered it was his birthday. So the next thing you know, we sang happy birthday to him. Off key, kind of weak, but we sang happy birthday to him. Here's why that matters. It seems like it's, 40 seconds, do something nice, bring a smile to someone's face. How big a deal is that? I bumped into him the next day. We're sitting down at Mandy's. I always say hi to him when I see him there. We usually have about a 4-minute conversation. On this day, we talked for 10 minutes. 6 minutes longer than we've ever spoken before. Why? Because after 4 minutes, I wished him a good day. I started to walk away, and he said ever so softly, "Thank you. Thank you." And I turned back. What did you? What is it? Thank you. Then he talked about how that was the first time in longer than he could remember that people had sang to him. It was longer than he could remember that people celebrated his birthday with him. And he talked about what that meant in his life. It was 40 seconds for a group of people on Wednesday night. For him, it meant the world. This guy shared this with tears coming down his face. And in that moment, I realized, again, there are people in this community who are living into this fellowship to which we've been called. You're going out, you're being in the church in a variety of ways. So whatever you can do this week, in the days to come, whether it's difficult conversations to be honest with the people around you, whether it's offering words of encouragement, or simply finding someone who's experiencing something good and celebrating with him or her or them, that's what it means to live into this fellowship we have been called. May we do just that.